Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Wednesday, October 19th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So this is the very first NBA DFS video for the season. This is my court pick video. If you have not been here before, welcome in first of all, but this is about my third year doing it at this point in time. So what I do in these videos, I'm going to give you my favorite play at point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center on both FanDuel and DraftKings. They may vary slightly site to site due to pricing and everything. At the beginning of the video, I'll go through a recap of the prior day's picks, go through the injuries for the day, and then go into those core picks. But since the very first day, we do not have a recap for yesterday, so we're going to start off right away with the injuries for today. So just going over to rotowire.com, looking through, the expected lineups, going through guys that are already injured and out, or guys that are kind of questionable. Maybe they play, maybe they don't today. We're going to start off with the Orlando Magic. Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Wagner are all out in this game. Shouldn't change too much majorly. No major pieces. Fultz, obviously played some last year, but he's probably coming off the bench anyways. Same thing with Gary Harris. Isaac's been out for what seems like forever at this point in time. And then Mo Wagner's just kind of backup center, backup power forward spot. But, they did add Paulo Banchero in the draft, obviously. So he probably wasn't going to play too big of a role either way. For Detroit, Marvin Bagley is out. Backup big man there. Would have saw some minutes, but nothing crazy there. Alec Burks is probably a bigger one. And then Isaiah Livers looking like he's going to be out today. So maybe a little bit more depleted than in that front court overall. Maybe some extra minutes at that 4 spot behind Bogdanovich today overall, but nothing that should impact DFS too much. Corey Kispert's out today for the Washington Wizards. Vernon Carey listed as a game time decision. He may or may not get minutes either way, so not too worried about him. Daniel Theis is out for the Pacers. Jalen Smith is questionable. If he doesn't play, it's probably going to be Isaiah Jackson starting in his place. Could also be Oshai Brissett. We'll just have to see how that all shakes out. Aaron Nesmith is also questionable, but coming off the bench. Not too worried about him overall. For the Rockets, we have Jayshawn Tate out. Ty Washington's out, and the Knicks is listed as a game time decision at this point in time. For the Atlanta Hawks, we got Bogdan Bogdanovich out. Probably a key member off their bench, but not going to impact too much overall. For the Chicago Bulls, apparently their lineup's already confirmed with Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikolai Vucevic. The big one there is just kind of Dosunmu starting at point guard. They announced that a couple days ago. And then Patrick Williams actually getting the start. There was some talk that Javonte Green might end up starting and Williams come off the bench, but doesn't look like it's going to be the case, at least for today. Lonzo Ball's out today. Caruso and Zach LaVine were both listed as game time decisions, but I do expect both to play. For the Miami Heat, Victor Oladipo is out once again. Omar Yurtseven is also out, so Oladipo is probably the bigger one there. They do have Tyler Hero listed in the starting lineup. I do not expect him to start by any means. He has pretty much never started in his career. He's just kind of been that sixth man off the bench. Maybe that changes this year, but we'll just have to see. Moving down to the Pelicans, Kira Lewis is out. He tore his ACL last year. EJ Liddell is also out. And then Jackson Hayes is questionable. Maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. Beyond Jonas Valanciunas, but Zion is back at this point in time, so he could see a little bit of time at the 5 as well. Then we have the Brooklyn Nets, who are without Seth Curry, Joe Harris, and TJ Warren. Seth Curry and Joe Harris are kind of the big ones there. Looks like Royce O'Neal will be starting in their place. There may be some backup minutes available as well off the bench. For the Cavaliers, Dylan Windler is out, Ricky Rubio is out, and Diate is also out as well. Nothing too major there overall. For the Toronto Raptors, looks like Otto Porter Jr. is out. And then we have Chris Boucher and Kem Birch, both listed as game time decisions, both unlikely to play today. So it could be some minutes for Precious Achiuwa in this game. Could be a decent little play on both sites. Then for the New York Knicks, Quentin Grimes is out. Probably a couple more minutes for Evan Fournier and some of those other guys off the bench, probably like Isaiah Quickly, Derrick Rose, all those guys that are there as well. For the Memphis Grizzlies, they're without Danny Green, Jaren Jackson Jr., Zaire Williams, and Dylan Brooks is doubtful to play today. So may end up seeing John Concher in the starting lineup. Should see a lot of Brandon Clark and Kyle Anderson today as well. Moving down to the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are all the way healthy at this point in time. Minnesota Timberwolves are just without Eric Paschall, so no major impact there. And then for the Charlotte Hornets, looks like LaMelo Ball is out today. Terry Rozier should get a bump. We'll see if Kelly Oubre ends up starting today or if it's Cody Martin in that starting lineup. I would expect maybe Martin gets the start and then Oubre still comes off the bench if they follow kind of the plan that they were using last year. The Spurs are all the way healthy at this point in time. Then we move down to the Denver Nuggets. Looks like they're without Colin Gillespie. Probably wasn't going to play too much for them anyways. And then Udoka Azubuike is out for the Utah Jazz. Missed a lot of time last year as well. Probably not a major impact for them overall. Then for the Dallas Mavericks, they are without Frank Ntilikina. Looks like Davis Bertans is inactive today. And then Maxi Kleber is listed as questionable. Be interesting to see how much he's going to play this year. JaVale McGee is supposed to start at center. Christian Wood's supposed to back him up. Maybe Kleber is going to play a little bit at 4 spot. Maybe opens up some other minutes for guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and some other pieces there. Then for the Suns, Landry Shaman is out. Jay Crowder is inactive today. So it looks like Cam Johnson's probably going to start in his place. Maybe somebody else starts and moves around just a little bit more, but Cam Johnson could end up being a decent little play. Then for the Portland Trailblazers, they're without Trent Watford, Olivier Sarr, Gary Payton II. I think he's probably out for the year anyways. Justice Winslow's listed as game time decision. We'll see if he plays or not. But without him being in the starting lineup, getting a bunch of minutes, probably not going to matter too much overall. And then last but not least for the Kings, we got Keegan Murray, who's listed as out, and then Kevin Huerter's listed as game time decision, but expected to play at this point in time. Maybe some value opening up for that Kings team overall, but it's mainly going to be De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis for me today overall. But that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today. It is a 12-game main slate overall. Should be some pretty interesting values out there. Quite a few interesting price tags overall, but with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks for today. So on the DraftKings side, at point guard, we have Trey Jones. He's $4,200. Last year, he averaged 15 fantasy points per game. But the big note here is DeJounte Murray is no longer on this team. Looks like Trey Jones is going to be that starting point guard. In the games where he got extended run last year, he got 30 points or more pretty much every single time. At $4,200, looking for 21 points out of him. He should far exceed that. Have him projected for about 30 points tonight, but definitely could go for a little bit more as well. Then in shooting guard, we got Devin Vassell, his teammate, at $4,600. Looking for about 23 points out of him. He averaged 24.5 last season. He's in that starting lineup now. I got him projected for 29 points tonight. There's a chance that he gets more than that. There's a chance that he also gets less than that, but looking like a pretty solid play overall. Then at small forward, we're going with Scotty Barnes of the Toronto Raptors, $6,100. Looking for 30 points out of him. He averaged 33 last year. I got him projected for 35 points tonight. Sounds like he's going to be playing a lot more of that point guard position overall this year. Going to have some more ball handling responsibilities and going to be a very good player overall. Then we go with another second-year player in Evan Mobley for the Cleveland Cavaliers, $5,900, looking for 29, 30 points out of him. Got him projected modestly for 33, 34 points. That's about what he averaged last year as well. So it should be a pretty good game for him at a very reasonable price tag. And then last but not least, we have Bam Adebayo at $6,400. You're looking for 32 points out. Averaged 38.4 last year. I got him projected for 38 points tonight. He had some pretty good games against the Bulls last year. $6,400 price tag is almost disrespectful to him at this point in time. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $22,800, remaining $7,600 per player. So definitely some opportunities to pay up for each stud. Maybe 2 higher price players and then 1 real dirt cheap player, or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely acceptable as well on today's 12-game slate. Definitely should be a lot of good options out there overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So once again, at point guard, we got Trey Jones. He's a little bit more expensive on the FanDuel side at $5,100. Looking for 26 points out of him, averaged about 15 on the season last year. As I mentioned, on the DraftKings side, he pretty much got 30 points every time he saw extended run. There's no DeJounte Murray in town anymore, so he should make a pretty good play overall. Then we're going to move down to shooting guard with Josh Hart at $5,500. Looking for 27, 28 points out of him, averaged just under 32 fantasy points per game last season. Do get some pieces back for this Portland Trailblazers team, so I do have him projected for 30 points tonight. Then at small forward, we have Scotty Barnes once again at $6,600. Looking for 33 points out. He averaged just over 33 last year, got him projected for 35. As I mentioned on the DraftKings side, should see some more ball handling responsibilities and should make a pretty strong play overall on the season and today as well. Then at power forward, we're going to go with Brandon Clark at $4,400. Looking for 22 points out. He averaged 24 points on the season last year. As I mentioned in the injuries, there's a lot of missing pieces for this Grizzlies team. He's a guy that can kind of create some offense on his own. He can get some blocks. He can get some steals. There's a very good chance that he gets over 30 points tonight, and it wouldn't surprise me by any means, but I currently have him modestly projected for 26 fantasy points. If he ends up in that starting lineup, could be pretty popular as well. Then last but not least, we have Jakob Poeltl at $6,900. Looking for 34, 35 points out. He averaged just under 34.5 fantasy points per game last season. Currently having projected for 35 points. Could be a decent little matchup against the Charlotte Hornets unless they go small ball. And maybe Jakob Poeltl comes off the floor in that case, but we'll just have to see if that happens or not. Or he could just have a big advantage because he's just the biggest guy on the court. But definitely a guy that does offer a ton of upside. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed on FanDuel, you have $31,500 remaining, just under $7,900 per player. So definitely some opportunities opportunity, just pay up for some studs on tonight's slate and then kind of mix and match from there. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine as well. But with that being said, these are my core picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, October 19th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play for tonight's slate, whether it's someone that was in my core 5 picks for either site, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. If you have not joined me before, throughout the day I try to post injury updates down in the comments as well as some starting lineups. I'll do my best to do that again once this season. And then if there's any updates to the core, I'll try to post that about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, give or take the injury news as it does come out as well. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. At this point in time, it's going to be NBA and NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up weekly NFL DFS core pick videos. Got the live streams for the Monday night and Thursday night game. The Thursday night football one I'll be doing a little bit earlier tomorrow, probably around 3 o'clock Central Time. Just got a couple other things going on tomorrow night, so I'm just bumping that up. Definitely be sure to check that out or check that out on a replay. I will do my best to make sure you guys are as informed as possible for that game as well. But then in terms of NBA, I'll be doing daily core pick videos Monday through Friday. I'll be trying to hit up some weekends as well. Might not be every weekend day, but if you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out. And then also be sure to check out my Patreon, patreon.com/CoachCraigSports. Got some DFS content going up on there as well. I think I'm going to start putting my, guys that project over 5 times value on there as well for NBA. So if you guys want to see that, small donation for the month. Hopefully it helps you out quite a bit as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.